something because I'm about to hit 25,000 subscribers, by the way. Um, and that's 25% of the way of being to 100,000 subscribers, which you get a plaque and everything. And man, it was a road to get here. All right. I feel like I was like divinely guided to be a tarot reader. For whatever reason, I feel like when I was a kid, right? I was a kid and my mom had this book. It was called Love Signs by Linda Goodman. All right, and you can pick that book up. And the book basically like compared each sign with each sign, and it told you about the individual signs. I was so obsessed with that book. I used to read it all the time. Um, and always was in the signs and everything. I had that book. I carried that book around till I was like 23, and then it just got destroyed. It fell apart because that book was in the 80s, right? When it was like when I had it, and it wasn't a hardback book. It was a soft cover book. But get that book, Linda Goodman, Love Signs. All right. So read that book a lot, and got really fascinated with signs and you know how certain signs acted and things like that. When I would drive around, me and my friend would drive around, and if we saw a sign, if we saw like the license plate being like a certain sign, we would point it out and be like, oh, that's a Taurus, oh, that's a Sagittarius, oh, that's a Leo. Because in Georgia, when you look at signs, when you look at the license plates, the month is like their birthday, so you could just pretty much say, oh, they're either this or that, and then you could kind of like describe like what kind of driver they were based on their sign. So that's something I used to do too. But no, that was always like something I always like knew people how they acted through their signs. So that was like the first step to tarot, and then you kind of intuitively guess like what they're gonna do based on their sign or who you're dating, and you just kind of know a general idea. And then one day I went on YouTube and I googled up tarot reading because in the 90s we had like what do they call it, Miss Cleo and everything. It was like it was like I didn't really understand what it really was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I thought it was just exclusively for Miss Cleo back in the day. I didn't know it was like an actual thing. You know what I mean? Like I heard about the palm reading and all that stuff and the 8 ball and all that, but I never really knew that tarot was actually a thing. So when I looked it up and then I kind of started comparing it to my situation, I was like, oh well, this kind of like adds up to it, but I don't quite understand like what these cards are saying. But a prequel to all this really happening, man, I had a lot of streak of bad luck. Like basically I couldn't hold a job down, in Atlanta. The longest I ever held a job down was like 4 years. Basically because I was not like a person that likes to go along with people's rules. I'm like a rule breaker. I'm like a natural rule breaker. Always have been. That's just what I do. Like even in high school, I was like the class clown, the one that used to bring the toys to the school, the one that used to be the one that just was outspoken and did the extra shit. You know what I mean? I was like always breaking the rules, and it kind of went along to my job. Like I don't know, I just kind of always was like I didn't understand like certain codes and certain things. Like okay, you have a code, right? But then you let certain people break that code because you're cool with them or whatever the case may be, right? And you're doing everything right, but it just seems like the people who are doing everything half-assed just because they're cool with this individual, they're getting the promotions. And I was like, you know what? And this has happened for year after year after year. I was getting nowhere in these jobs because everybody wanted to fucking promote the person they were cool with. So anyway, left job after job. My last job actually worked well, no. My last retail job was Home Depot. Um, this store manager basically, I'm telling you, all right, there was this girl who used to like me, right, in Home Depot, and she became a supervisor. I don't know. Supposedly, she did some things for that, but she became a supervisor, and like she was like really needy when it came to me because before she became a supervisor, I was already working there. She had just started working there, and she used to be like hitting on me and everything, and I never really liked her like that, basically. So, but then I started hearing rumors that she was like giving it up to like the managers, the assistant managers, rumored around, right? Next thing you know, she gets promoted to supervisor, and next thing you know, she's all like trying to tell me like what to do and stuff like that, and just really, really harassing the crap out of me and making me do so much and making other people do so little. So it was like a personal like thing because I turned her down. Like she wanted to attack me, and then like the store manager was really like known for like at the time for like firing everybody. All right, he was like this dude who like was find things and like write you up and get you terminated. There's so many ways to do it. If they really want to get you, they can get you, right. But what happened? Man, what basically the whole freaking point of this whole thing is like working at that place was like working at like a jail or something, or like high school. Like you had snitches, you had people who were cool with people, you had people who would spread rumors about things. It was like chaos in there. Anyway, I ended up moving to another store, and I was doing fine at first, and they started cutting my hours and stuff. And basically, people felt like I knew too much too as well, and I just wasn't trying to do all that extra stuff to kiss somebody's ass. I'm not an ass kisser. I just can't do it. All right. So pretty much, I left Home Depot. I went to do landscaping. I lied on my resume. I told my friend who was doing landscaping to lie that I worked for him, and that what I'm saying, it was and said that I had this experience. But I had a DOT because I had tried to do no, I didn't have a DOT. No, I didn't need a DOT. No, that was later on another job. But they hired me, and I was making like $18 an hour, and I didn't know how to do shit. But that's the thing. It's like the pressure. It's like the expectation of you trying to like, you already set the bar this high, even though you're this low, right? It's like you're gonna meet somewhere in the middle. So I was like learning everything real quick. I learned how to drive that motherfucking truck. I learned how to do this. I learned how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And basically, how I got fired from that job was, I got a little tipsy one night, and then I was like, I ain't going to work. And those landscaping jobs are really draining, man. If you ever worked a landscaping job, you should know. If you have somebody who's working in landscaping, or any loved one who does landscaping, you guys need to say like, hey, like the military, we support you. You're out there in like all kind of weather, you know what I'm saying, and sweating. Like down here in Georgia, you so hot and you sweating out there, you got bees stinging you. You know what I mean? I worked those jobs, man. The landscaping business, I did that shit for three years. All right, in the wintertime, they would fire you. They would fire you in the wintertime. You got to do unemployment because they have no work down here in Georgia. So pretty much, I was like, man, I'm getting paid this much from this place. I said, man, let me go ahead and start me a business. So I went out. I went to Staples. I made my business cards. I was going to mailbox to mailbox. I was hanging up business cards on mailboxes, on the outside of the mailboxes. You can't do them in the inside. It's illegal. So I had the tape. This is how driven I was. I was hanging them stuff on the mailboxes. I put out about 100 of them motherfuckers, and I got like 2 callbacks. And only one of them worked out. But you know what? That one person was a subscriber. They were a subscriber to my service because she wanted to cut every 2 weeks for $50 a cut. I was like, okay, it's $100 a month. And then she had like other projects and stuff, and I would quote them for little other projects. But I was like, all right, the lawn took me like 30 minutes to do. So I was like, oh, dang. So my business card method wasn't really working too well at the end of the day. I think I put out like 500 business cards. Only had like 3 clients. It wasn't enough to support myself, but it was enough to do it on the weekend outside of the job I was doing. So I was making an extra, what was that, I mean, it's $300 a month, right? Outside of what I was doing before. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create me a Yelp page or whatever. And then I created a Yelp business page. And guess what? I started getting more calls. I was booking more events. I was going out quoting more yards. I had a great year, 2018. I had a really great year. And 2019, I had a decent year. But then everybody started to like fall off, you know what I'm saying? And then I wasn't really trying to recruit people. And I didn't really, and like after doing 2 or 3 years of landscape on your own, like I was like having a lawnmower out the back of the trunk of my car, folks. All right. It was like, I had a business up there, but it was like, they weren't, you know, so, but people were paying me and I was doing it, you know? And, all right, what happened? Okay, so then I started losing clients. I lost like a lot of clients, like, or whatever. And I was getting demotivated of doing it, and I feel like they felt it too. Like, it is like, I got stung by so many yellow jackets, y'all. I was afraid to mow lawns after a while. I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. I got stung so many times in Georgia, and the how many times I get stung when in the yellow jacket nest? I get stung like 9 times, all right? And I have to spray myself down with Raid, man. Them things keep coming after you. All right? It's a Georgia wasp, all right? And they're in the ground, so when the lawnmower goes over the hole, they just come out and they sting you. Man, I had people working for me getting stung up, and it was bad. So I was like, you know what? I started doing DoorDash. I did DoorDash, and I had a couple of clients left, or whatever, that was like not haven't fell off yet. But you see how things are moving you into where you need to be is what I'm trying to, the whole point of this whole story is, all right? Like, if it's not meant for you, like I had a really great year doing landscaping. One great year, and the rest of the year was kind of slumped down a little bit. So, dang it, man, I was at. So yeah, I started doing DoorDash. Beginning of the pandemic, man, it was great, man. It was so great. I had bought these tarot cards right here. These are my first tarot cards I ever had bought. I was sitting on them. I was sitting on these tarot cards, and I was doing them for my friends and stuff like that. But I never really was like, man, nobody's gonna watch me or whatever. I was watching all these other tarot readers on YouTube, and I was like, I don't know how to tell no story. I don't know how to do all that. You know what I mean? And basically, I would do them. I would do them for myself sometimes. Wasn't really good at doing it for myself. Because you always could cheat what you're gonna say for yourself. But then I would do it for other people, and some people say, yeah, I kind of see where that resonated. And you just gotta practice. You know what I mean? And then okay, and then it comes to the factor of you telling other people. And then I was telling other people, I think I want to do it. And people would be like, they would kind of give it a side eye. They wouldn't, people when people don't understand something, they don't know how it's going to work out because they never even known of the business or whatever. They automatically think you're going to be on the street trying to sell tarot readings at a festival or something like that. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are stuck in the 90s in the way they think, all right? Especially when you tell older folks, all right? But you tell people and they just kind of look at it as all right, okay. Some people are religious freaks. They'll tell you that God doesn't want you to do it, okay? And all kind of things, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is about tarot readers, some tarot readers do worship the devil. They probably do, because they do talk about witches and all this crap, all this demonic stuff. But Like me, I don't call on those spirits or anything like that. I just kind of just do it off my natural spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't read anything demonic. Anything I'm telling you is just a relationship thing. It's not like it's gonna resonate with your relationship or not. I'm not telling you to sell your soul or anything like that. So I just think like people kind of like take it a little bit too far. Like, you know what I'm saying? If anything, it's entertainment, and this is kind of like what it is. I mean, it resonates freakily it resonates, but it's still entertainment. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, like you like wrestling, or you like, you know what I'm saying, you like to watch unsolved mysteries and all these different things, or the UFO phenomenons and things like that. It's kind of like in that paranormal category. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. People were kind of telling me at first, like, oh, you know, I don't, and then you kind of doubt yourself when people don't really feel like, yeah, you should do it, and you kind of like feel like, should I do it? And then I was just doing the DoorDash thing, and then it kind of dried up. I did my last DoorDash video. I don't know if you guys go back, you guys can see it. I was fucking mad. I was like mad, frustrated. So I was like, let me just go ahead and do it. So I was drinking that night. I went to the bar. I had a drink. I was like, man, I'm frustrated with fucking life. I'm frustrated with all these fucking jobs. I'm frustrated with these customers leaving my job, leaving my company, leaving me or whatever. And I'm just tired of always satisfying these folks. And I go out of my way. Like, these folks wake up in their house, and I gotta drive to their house, cut their yard, all this stuff, cater to them, and then at the end of the day, they're like, I don't really want to deal with that. I want another company. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? And it's so hard, to get the customer. So, and then when the DoorDash thing started crapping out, I'm like, man. And then I had a bunch of money I had saved up. I had a bunch of money during the pandemic. I had saved up like $4,000, man. This is what I'm telling you guys. When you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, it's gonna, all your money is gone, man. Like, look, like stuff started happening. Like I got a car. The lady was like, oh, it has a little problem. You know what I mean? Got the car. Transmission goes out. Boom. Driving my cousin's car. You know what I'm saying? Because my car had gotten into an accident. All right. So the car I was driving, I was doing landscaping in it, right? And a rock, when I was landscaping, flew through the window and douche, blew the window out, right? $500. My cat got sick. $400. Man, like, the stuff was just coming out of the blue, man. Things were just coming out of the blue. And I went from 4,000 to like $600. It was crazy how things were just like happening, where my money was just going here. And then like I was like, dang. So I was like, dang, fuck life, you know what I mean? But the funny thing about that was, like, 3 days before that, I remember I was crying, man. I was crying. I was crying. I was praying to Jesus Christ. I had the Bible, and I was praying. I was like, God, look. It's like, something's got to give, man. Like, everything that I'm doing is failing. God, something's got to give. So I was crying, and I was like, man, what is going on, man? Like, why is everything that I do just goes back to shit, And I don't know, man. So kind of went on doing the whole routine of things. And I was like, I got drunk that night. I said, fuck this shit, man. I'm going to get drunk. I don't give a fuck. So, got drunk. And I picked up these damn cards. And I fucking went in this bathroom here. This bathroom right up in here. If you watched my videos back in February, I was drunk. I was so fucking drunk. And I did the reading. And the next day, I had like 100 views. I was like, 100 views? And on one video, it was like 200 views. And then And I had like 20 subscribers. I was like, all right, well, that kind of gave me motivation to do it again. You know what I mean? So I was like I was at my friend's house. All right. And me and my friend had fell out. That had happened too before I did tarot. Me and my best friend, we had been friends for years. We fell out right before tarot too. So I had like nobody to talk to. I had nothing. I had nobody. All right. I was at the most lonerest position of my life. All right. And yeah. So I was doing a tarot reading over there. You know what I'm saying? I was still like cool with them or whatever. But when they would leave, you know what I'm saying, I would do the tarot at their house. And because they had a better setup, before I knew that my setup here was pretty cool. But I used to think their setup was cool because they used to have the table and I used to think it was cool. So I used to do the readings over there. And they started, like, I did it for like over a month. And then the channel started to get buzz, right? A little bit. I had like in a month, I had like 4,000 views. So I was like, all right. And then I think they started to know about it, and then they started to like interrupt it, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when when you're doing something you're meant to do. Sometimes people put roadblocks, like you're gonna have roadblocks that are just put in front of you, and you have to work around those roadblocks. All right, even to this day, I have roadblocks I have to work around. All right, like when people see you're doing something and they're not doing anything, or they don't have that purpose, they don't know that purpose that they need to do, they kind of like stand in your way. They kind of like interrupt you and stuff like that. Okay, it's like once you start getting something rolling, you'd be so surprised what people do. You know, especially people who are close to you. They'll just do things and just to stop your progress in a way. It's like it's so weird. It's so weird, but it started happening to me, man. And I still get it to this day. Okay, and the best thing for you to do when you're trying to grow something, man, and people are like intentionally trying to make noise, like, no, I'm making videos. Okay, well, I'll make a video, right? Like, they would leave, right? But at first, they would leave and be gone for like hours, right? Because they had to go to work or whatever. But when they started to find out that I was doing videos and I was getting publicity, they would come back in like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, in and out, like, and then they basically broke down and told me, they were like, you're disrespecting us by doing videos in our house. I was like, oh, wow. So that's why I brought it here to this place, and I started to do it here. So that's how I'll say, like, people will hate on you. And even here, because I live in a roommate situation, I have to deal with, like, slamming doors and, you know what I'm saying? Like having a quiet place to work. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. It's here. It's what you have to deal with, and then you have people on the internet and their views and their comments. Nobody gives a damn about you when you have 1,000 subscribers and you have like 100 views. Nobody cares to say nothing to you. But when you start getting some buzz and things are moving forward and they see you moving forward, it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of triggers people. It triggers people. Even if they don't want to be triggered, it triggers them, and they automatically they do things. You feel me? And so I'm here now, and I'm still growing, financially. And right now I'm in a roommate situation, hopefully. And by next year, I have my own place, have my own spot, and more independent. Since I started doing tarot, man, I never had went to Vegas. I had never been to Vegas. I never thought I would even have went to Vegas. Because of tarot, I went to Vegas. I went to Orlando. I went to Fort Pierce. I never thought I would even be at these places, man. It's a lot of work, guys. If you want to be a tarot reader, this is not something I'm just trying to sell you, like trying to say this, all right? I'm not trying to say, oh, just do a tarot reading tomorrow and you're going to be successful. No, it is work. Hard fucking work. You wonder why these tarot readers take breaks and they're so tired and they're so exhausted? It's because they have to do so many videos, all right? Look, in 8 months, I've done 800 videos, man. Over 800 videos. It's hard work, folks. You're not going to get anywhere instant gratification. It doesn't matter how hard you promote yourself. It don't matter if a person down here shouts you out down the street. You might get subscribers, but are you going to get the views? Are you going to get the payment? You have to earn the respect of people in the tarot community. You have to put your time in. You have to. Because people have to grow an emotional bond to you. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you release a song and then the song is so good, everybody listens to it over and over again. The minute you put a tarot reading out, the minute you release the second tarot reading, that other tarot reading is voided. You can count that tarot reading, kiss that tarot reading goodbye. It's not getting any more views like that. So it's a constant grind. And if you're not willing to go with the grind, tarot reading isn't for you, all right? You have to be consistent every freaking day, 7 days a week. All right. The minute you take a week off, you lose momentum. Now you got to build it back up. You know what I mean? So it's a tough situation, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, guys. It's not like, okay. It's a grind. Is what I'm trying to say. It's a grind. All right. And when you think about Michael Jackson, you think about all these artists back in the day, you know how many shows they did? They did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows to be where they're at. I feel like these artists now, they get a cheat code because they're social media, right? They're social media to push them around. But in the tarot community, since it's still something that's an undiscovered thing, it's not like a big thing, right? We're like doing the shows. You got to put the material out. Material. All right? So if you guys want to be tarot readers, and I know some of you guys do, just know it's trial and error. You got to know your strong points. You got to know your weak points. And it's hard now to tell now, like YouTube now doesn't give you a dislike button. I don't know how you're going to critique yourself now, but always like look at yourself and critique yourself, how you can get better. And if you want to do it, I critique myself every damn day, man. When I watch these videos, I critique myself. I'm like, I could have did that better. I could have, what the hell? Why did I say that? Sometimes I'm like, oh, that was perfect. But that's just my opinion, Everybody has their own opinion. That's the thing about being a tarot reader. You have to be open. Everybody's gonna have to hear what you got to say. So everybody's gonna want to see your face, see your hands, see your cards. Everybody's gonna be critiquing you, whether they say anything or not. So that's how I became a tarot reader, guys. That's how I became a tarot reader. And I could say, hey, I've tried it all, I've did the goofy thing, really goofy, and like people like it and some people don't, you know what I'm saying? I've did the serious thing. Some people like it, some people don't. You're never gonna satisfy everybody, man. So if you're coming in this game trying to be like, I'm gonna satisfy everybody, it ain't gonna happen. You can hang that up. All you can do is just try to do what what you could do. And the best you could do is who you are now. It's a transformation. I'm still transformating right now. I'm still going through my changes right now. All right? So, I've been in the business for 8 months. I'm already being compared to like Rich Loop, Tyler's Tarot, all these bigger channels than me, and I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? I've only been here for 8 months. So, like I said, guys, you never know. You just got to be consistent. Be consistent. I don't see people who are not even like channels that back in the day was like the boringest channel, but they stuck to it for 10 years. And they're at like now 300,000 subscribers, 400,000 subscribers. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, folks. What I'm trying to say, everybody has different times to get somewhere. All right. But you got to get, when you get there, you're good. So everybody out there, do your thing, man. All right, man. See you guys. Hope you guys enjoy your, what day is it? Sunday. Some people are probably already on Monday now. You know what I'm saying? So close to that time. But I see you guys. All right. Bye. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you. Oh, super chatter. Thank you. Tina the Traveler. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for even listening to me. All right. See you guys.